All right, let's make our final two picks. We've got another trio of top tier teams to take a look at and try to make some picks against. We've got Houston Dash versus San Diego Wave. This one kicking off on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Hey, Lisa, I'm just gonna be real. This one is tough for me too.
I think this is a top game of the weekend right here.
I was gonna say, is this your game to watch?
One of my games to watch. I also think, what did we say? OL Reign Gotham. Yeah, these are the top two games to watch. Houston versus San Diego Wave. It is in Houston. You can catch it at 8:30 Eastern tomorrow. So that's Saturday, that May 20th. This is just a heck of a matchup. Houston and San Diego both coming off wins after a bit of a skid. When you look at the history of these two sides, for Houston, it was their first regular season win since April 1st. And to come from behind, 2-1 win over Portland Thorns last week. Massive. Diana Ordonez unavailable for Sam Lady and this Houston Dash side. However, Ebony Salmon gets on the board. She gets an unofficial assist on the first goal, and then she gets the game winner, her first goal with Houston this year. And it is about time. Ebony Salmon has been knocking on the door even throughout this match against Portland, getting many shots off, looking to get opportunities, taking the ball and just going for it. Will we see Diana Ordonez this week? I'm not sure. We don't have availability for her yet. That might change the game a little bit, but I think the floodgates have opened for Ebony Salmon. I think that door has finally been knocked down, and we start to see a lot more coming from Ebony Salmon in way of goal contribution, getting assist, forcing turnovers, forcing goals to come. Now for San Diego, this is a Wave side that is coming off a shutout, their first shutout in a very long time for Caitlin Sheridan, not what they wanted to see. And it's a win for them. They also got 2 goals in the first half against Kansas City last week. That is something that is the first time that has happened for San Diego in a road game, getting 2 goals in the first half. But there's been a lot of travel for San Diego. They went to Kansas City. Now they're in Houston. They haven't been at home for a while. It's exhausting to be on the road, not to mention the heat and the humidity that is in Houston right now. It's a bit different than playing on the coast in San Diego, than playing in Kansas City as well. This is a huge matchup for me. Huge matchup between these two sides. It's like an Ebony Salmon battle against an Alex Morgan battle. I think Jane Campbell had a great game in goal last week for Houston Dash. Caitlin Sheridan has also kind of turned the page after she's been stuck in the mud a little bit. I like this battle. I like this matchup a lot.
Okay, well, who was your pick, Lisa?
I'm going to give it to Houston.
Home side?
I'm going to give it to the home side. I think playing at home, the Dash, Ebony Salmon, if we get to see Diana Ordonez back, they're just going to provide a different look against the San Diego side, that their attackers can force the Waves defense under much more pressure than they were under last week with Kansas City.
Yeah, I feel that. Look, I'm curious as to who is going to be available in this match, because I think you can make an argument for both teams here, kind of having to deal with an increase in players who are listed on that availability report. Or Ordonez has been listed on there for Houston, and that's already alongside players that they know that have were going to be out with season-ending injuries or on the 45-day list. Who's gonna be back and ready to go? Is Ali Price not going to be a player that's available for them, or for if you're San Diego and Casey Stoney, maybe this is something that as a head coach and coaching staff they're dealing with and how to navigate in their second season. I wouldn't say that they were a team that had the deepest bench in the league, but they definitely had players that they rotated and relied upon. But this is also a group that has had to deal with some varying availability reports as well. Is Kelsey Turnbow going to be available? Is Emily Van Egmond going to be available? Back injuries are tricky. You can never really tell. So, Mackenzie Doniak even listed it as questionable. How much, can she give? And then you're asking these players to not only go out there and run a ton of miles, but do that in the Texas heat. So it's tough. It's a struggle. I think coming off of their previous result, they were happy to get it because they knew the turnaround that they were going to have was going to go and be in Houston. And I think they might struggle with that a little bit. They did last season as well, and I think it's going to show up again. I'm curious if Ordonez is also going to be available. I think we can both agree that part of how Salmon finally got her breakthrough was because Ordonez was not on the pitch. There was some good link up between her and Sanchez, and we need to see that when all three are on the pitch.
I know.
So hopefully we'll get to see it. I mean, they're gearing up and building towards it. Maybe it's something with tactics, and Sam Lady needs to try some different things out and get those players in better positions to make sure they're firing on all cylinders. So whether it's almost like which given Sunday is it? Is it going to be Ordonez or is it going to be Salmon? But what I do know is that I believe in Maria Sanchez, and I think when it comes to that trio, she is someone that is going to deliver week in and week out. So I'm going to go with the home side as well. I'm going Houston Dash in this one. Let's have fun with it. Maybe 2-1. I'll say
I like it.
We're going to get a couple goals in it. Last game for us to make a pick. We've got Portland Thorns FC versus Chicago Red Stars. We've got the Red Stars who have just been struggling. We've been just feel like we've been talking about that week in, week out. But we've also got Portland who just haven't picked up a win in quite some time either. So curious about what you're feeling about this game, Lisa. But I think this is the game that Portland uses to get back in the win column. They're hosting. Chicago doesn't typically play well in Providence Park. And I think even with Portland and who they might have available, I think they have the deeper bench compared to Chicago at this point. They just got too many pros going into this game, and I'm going with the Thorns against Chicago.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's similar anecdote when we talk about Washington, Orlando, when you've got someone towards the top. Portland's number 4 standing right now, going up against bottom of the table team, Chicago Red Stars. They're ranked number 12 right now in the league. Portland needs to use this as a big win, right? They've got to get a couple goals. They've got to get a shutout. They've got to look at this not as an easy game by any means, but ones where they can hopefully try to impose their game onto this Chicago Red Stars team. But yeah, Portland struggled. They've had a bit of a skid, a 3-game winless in their last 3, coming off that 2-1 loss to Houston. And Chicago is coming off a very rough road loss, 3-0 to Racing Louisville. They get to go on the road again. And as you just mentioned, Chicago struggles on the road a little bit, and they struggle specifically in Providence Park. This is a Chicago side that's really struggling right now. They lost a club record of 6 straight road matches in all NWSL competitions. And they've also conceded multiple goals in all 6 of those defeats. For Chicago, it's just 1 win in their 11 away matches, their last 11 away matches. I don't think they turn it around. I agree. I think Portland is going to come out at home and just look to dominate. I think Sophia Smith has been quiet in score sheets. She's been contributing in other ways on the pitch and getting opportunities, but she needs to start making some noise, right? We just talked about the World Cup and how close it is. We're about 63 days away from the World Cup, and we need Sophia Smith to start making some noise on the club level. That way it translates into the international level. I think Olivia Moultrie has been phenomenal for Portland Thorns. Can she keep that up, keep rolling the boat a little bit? So we're both going to go with Thorns.
Yeah,
in this
I want to see Moultrie get the start. I'll even put that in our prediction as well.
Yeah.
I think this is she's a very young player, right? She's one of the teenagers that we talk about kind of taking the league by storm, but she's been involved with this Thorns organization, whether it's been at the academy levels or otherwise, for quite some time. She was like 13 years old. So at this point, watching what she's done, either getting a full 90 minutes or coming off of the bench, she has shown that she's an absolutely impactful player. I want to see that. I would like to see some more chemistry build up, in a middle third that features a Crystal Dunn, that features Olivia Moultrie, that can link up with, Sophia Smith. Let me see it. The people want to see it. I want to see it.
I want to see it.
But who knows? Maybe we'll get to see it, and maybe we'll get to see the win.